Hello, it's like in here show you the Dora the Explorer. You got the coloring right here, you know, with the it says with the pony or horse, and then along with the Dora, you know, riding along, and then right here you have it too, where you got a cookbook. You got the cookbook right here. And so far as the Apolani, you say cookbook. You can also known as the Apolani, or the Apollone, or it's like you get that you say the different names for, as you say, is what you call a cookbook. A cookbook that what you say is that could be what you say based on whatever that you're working with so far. If it's apples, or if it's bananas, or if it's, you say, it's like corned beef, and it's like cabbage. You say maybe a little bit of corned beef or whatever you call it, along with strawberries and along with the cherries. But you got the different. You got the fruit or vegetable tree right here. They also known as, they say, is for fruit cake, or it could be apple pie. And then you got the amount of measuring cups, for the pyramid, so far as for how many apples is equal to, say, so far as a half a cup, or it could be a full cup, or 1/4 or 1 1/3 of a cup. It is, and basically talking about, if you say, so far as it's like a decimal of a fraction, is you're dividing it. It could be dividing it into two or three different groups. If it's big enough to be divided into three groups, or if it's two groups. But you have it to where, if you were to come up with the idea about a pyramid, so far as ideas on a cookbook, with the, say, based on, say, is a pyramid based on different measurements. But you have it to where that with Dora, that you'd be exploring around what they say so far as the fruit cake tree, or it could be, say, is the apple tree or the cabbage tree, and along with boots right here. But one idea that I came up with is so far as is for, if you were to write your own cookbook. Of course, it's like if you had several ideas, or if you have very little ideas, but of course, like this right here, other than a leaf, that of course, if you were to start on what you say is a notepad, about the size of this, that has about maybe 200 pages of say, line paper on there, but about this amount of lining is just to get you some ideas for whatever type of recipe that you may have. And you got the heart right here, so far as whatever ideas that comes to your mind, so far as taste wise. It could be taste, or whatever type of a recipe that you want to work on. But you have it. You got the heart, and then along with the measuring cups right here. The measuring cups is like, so far as if you were to come up with a recipe, is that how many ounces of water it will take to wash off an apple completely. You got you say is so far as the faucet right there, run the faucet underneath the water, and then it could be, as you say, is about right here. So you get the 3/4, 1 3/4 of a cup, or it could be 2 cups would be about right here. It's like towards the top, and it goes to about to maybe 2 3/4 of a cup. But so far as math goes, is that what you have it to where you say that you'll be using what you say so far as cooking skills goes. That you have it to where if you want to use maybe just a little bit of sugar, you get the sugar, and then maybe some cinnamon. And then along like you got the cinnamon, and then of course it's like me, it's like with the secret ingredient that I don't know if I would recommend writing that tiny, but more likely that they try to do these steps just a matter of time. But you have it, you get the sugar, and then the cinnamon, and along with, they say, it could be lemon juice or whatever it is. And then after that, and then if you say to mix it, but you say mix, And a lot of times the word mix usually means is like if you were to combine a lot of those ingredients together. I don't know if anybody likes any type of a seasoning, or it could be as a so far with seasoning. Seasoning, or it could be so far as salt, but salt or pepper or whatever you call it, salt and pepper, or say also as for paprika. But a lot of that stuff, I guess you say, that will be used for like soups and stuff. So far with soups, and then along with breads and stuff. But more likely, if you were to come up with a recipe, which I'm sure that you say this is that would that would interest a lot of millions of people, that if you were to write a cookbook based on whatever recipes that you can come up with, like if you were to spend time in the kitchen, or if you were to spend time just knowing about whatever taste of whatever ingredient that does what, the more likely that you have a recipe, come up with the recipe, and then after that recipe that you would have ideas for what you want to cook, and then after what you want to cook, and then more likely you'll have people interested. And of course, that's one way to get your money savings to grow again, is the fact about with Dora. You collect the apples, you grow the apples, and then you come up with the recipes for whatever you want to use the apples for, such as you say apple ciders, apple sauce, or it could be apple pie, or apple apple paprika, or you say whatever type of names that you would think you come up with. But you got the leaf right here. But so far as Apolani cookbook that you have is to where that how many ounces of water it is that take to rinse off an apple, which a lot of times a lot of health departments or whatever, they would recommend to go ahead and rinse off the apples, because more likely they would probably say that whenever they are taken off the tree, that there could be toxins or whatever you call it that could be on the fruit, that they would probably recommend to wash them off, just to rinse off whatever type of pesticides there could be on the fruit. And more likely, and that's what I usually do. It could be salad mix, or whatever, salad mix, or potatoes, or it's like cantaloupes, or watermelon, anything really that you would buy at the store that it would come out of the package. More likely, if it involves fruits or vegetables or anything like that, more likely they would probably want you to rinse them, and then before you use them for your recipe. But of course, all we know is, like, for kids out there, is to remember to, before you use any type of cutting tool, so far as if it's slicing and dividing, to make sure that you have an adult with you, and then to be careful. And so far as cooking in the kitchen, is to know that if any type of emergency does come up where you wind up cutting yourself or whatever by slicing, which I'm sure it happens to a lot of us, then know that is to to rinse it, and then have a first aid kit with you, so far as if it's ointment. But a lot of people would probably say that if you burn yourself or whatever it is, and you apply butter on the burn, and add cold water. But I never really had that situation to where I really cut myself while I was slicing or while I was cooking anything. But more likely, I will probably say that if anything, it was just a paper cut. But so far with Dora, and then along with the cooking recipes, you get the ideas for a cookbook. But a lot of people just don't know where to start, or they do know where to start, but they just don't want to bother with the time. But more likely, say this is the time is that the fact about what your tastes are and what your interests are is a good way to start. But so far with Dora the Explorer, along with the cookbook, so far as the Apolani cookbook, along with Dora, and along with the Pony Rider coloring.